The Energy Security Board is publicly on record as being very supportive of consumers having open and transparent access to their data. Importantly, about 2 weeks ago, the exposure draft of the consumer data right was issued. And at first blush, that may not seem relevant to energy consumers. But when you combine that piece of legislation and the fact that the first wave of its application is going to be to the energy industry, and then look at the groundwork that the Energy Security Board has laid to date, you can see a very strong focus within the energy industry coming on to the consumer and the rights of the consumer to control, access and share and monetize their data. What's important about the consumer data right is we're starting finally, with the benefit of technology, to see the focus shift to the interests and needs of the consumer. So what does this mean for the consumer? Well, it is still early days, but there's certainly much talk about innovative products, innovative solutions, new ways to exploit consumer data. Much of that will be driven by innovative startup businesses, but let's not assume that all of it will be driven by energy startups. And let me take you through a little bit around the consumer data right. The consumer data right is also about cross-industry sharing of data. So to elaborate a little bit on that, banks are very interested in consumers' energy data. And in contrast, energy retailers are very interested in consumers' banking data. So while it may at first seem that the opportunities here are going to be predominantly in what we would call the startup sector, what may in fact transpire is you see an amazing, in a sense, cross-pollination of different parts of industry obtaining access to and exploiting data for the benefit of other industries. And what does that mean? It means positive outcomes for consumers, because more parts of business using and monetizing consumers' data for the benefit of consumers has to be good for consumers.